Have you ever felt the challenges of juggling complex intercompany transactions across multiple entities, wishing for a simpler, more efficient process? You are not alone. Many businesses look for a solution that not only streamlines intercompany sales and stock transfers, but also integrates seamlessly with their existing systems. That's where advanced intercompany processes in SAP S/4HANA Cloud come into play. A game changer for intercompany operations, allowing affiliated companies to participate in a single intercompany process. Not only does the solution drastically reduce reliance on custom developments and maintenance, but it also improves efficiency and transparency. But how does it do that? I'm Maria, and I've brought a panel of experts who will delve into the details and showcase how it meets the core needs of modern businesses while paving the way for future growth. Please welcome with me Jakob from Product Marketing, Matthias from Product Management, and my colleague Markus from Product Success. Now, looking in the direction of Jakob, could you please explain why intercompany processes are of increasing importance?
Yeah, sure thing. And also a warm welcome from my side again. First of all, I think intercompany processes are not a completely new thing, right? I mean, businesses, it's a part of the nature of the businesses that they do transact, that they think, okay, what can we do well? What can we do not so well? And then also outsource some stuff. So the general pattern of intercompany processes has always been around. Nevertheless, I think it's definitely true that like optimization and distribution of supply chains has really reached new heights over the, I would say at least last 2 decades, right? And that is connected to developments like the boom of e-commerce, but also, let's say, a more globalized economy overall, right? And in many industries, we're really observing that our customers also going from producing products to really becoming the orchestrator of their supply chain. And those offers a lot of new potential, new markets. And just think, for example, about the huge boom of drop shipment over the last 10 years. And it also increases, let's say, the efficiencies for established businesses. At the same time, it also comes with enhanced complexity, right? And this complexity needs to be handled. And to me, 2 key aspects of handling complexity are transparency and control. And latest, I think, with the pandemic, we have seen what it means to not have this transparency and not having this control, right? Luckily, the new intercompany processes check exactly those boxes, right? They allow businesses to cover more complex intercompany processes and at the same time ensure that they can do that with the necessary transparency and the necessary control. So I'm really looking forward to the examples that we see today.
And that's where Markus comes into play. Hi, Markus. Exactly what did you bring for us today?
Hi, Maria, and hi, everyone. Yeah, unfortunately, today I didn't bring any chocolate from Switzerland, but a short demo scenario from our advanced intercompany process together with advanced variant configuration capabilities. So let's have a look at the story first, and then I'll demo the scenario. So first, our customer Inlandskunde in Germany is expanding, and with the new warehouse opening in Chemnitz, the supermarket chain needed an upgrade for its logistics. So starting with the new heavy-duty forklift. And then the store manager, Claudia Berger, knew that with tight deadlines, they needed also a trusted equipment partner that could provide the heavy-duty forklift. And then we have the company Stapler for You Vertriebs GmbH, a German company known for handling specialized industrial equipment, and they can provide the specialized heavy-duty forklift. So Claudia submitted a request via the online portal, specifying, for example, load capacity, lift height, and ergonomic features. And within hours, the Stapler for You Vertriebs representative confirms then the receipt of the order. Then this particular heavy-duty model is manufactured at Stapler for You Ltd. So this is the affiliated company in the United States. Then in Germany, the Stapler for You Vertriebs GmbH places the order with their US colleagues as an intercompany order, forwarding specifications and also compliance requirements for the European use. Then over in Ohio, the colleagues from Stapler for You getting the production line to work, and engineers fine-tune the forklift design. ensuring it meets EU safety standards. And then within 4 weeks, the customized forklift was then completed, also painted in Inlandskunde's signature green, and with also a digital dashboard, for example, translated into German. Then the forklift was created, loaded onto a transatlantic cargo ship, and sent to Hamburg. And from there, it made its final journey via truck to Inlandskunde warehouse in Chemnitz. And last, Claudia and her team watched with satisfaction as the new forklift glided into place. And a few hours later, it was already unloading pallets of organic muesli and mineral water. So just like that, Inlandskunde was ready for business. So far to the story. And what I will do now is I'll demo the scenario in our system. So first, we have seen the Inlandskunde placed the order. So in this managed sales order version 2 new app, I'm just going to show you the sales order of this order. When we look at the item, we see here our forklift, and we see also that's a configurable material with an item category specialized for configuration. Here in the process flow, we see the standard order. We also see that the purchase order and also the intercompany sales order has been created automatically. And there's also a planned in delivery already in the system. Then when we look at the item again, I want to show you also the configuration. Here, the configuration status is released. Here you can see the individual characteristics. And with that, everything is fine for this order. And then we can see there's also an approval workflow that can be integrated into our advanced intercompany process. And here the colleague that is allowed to approve this standard order for our forklift is looking at it. It's looking also here at the business partner and looking at the process flow again. And then we have the approval details. Here, the sales order approval workflow, and we also see the recipients. And with that, the recipient of this workflow can then say, okay, I submit my decision, maybe also give here a little bit a decision note, and then submit it. And with that, the sales order is then approved. Here, the nice thing in the monitor value chains, this is also the big innovation of the advanced intercompany process. We can see the process flow again. Here, the sales order, which was completed. We see the outbound delivery, which is still pending, and also the automatically created purchase and also the intercompany sales order. We see this also here nicely, graphically in the process overview one more time. And this is automatically created through the value monitoring capabilities. When we go back quickly, we saw that the sales order was approved. Now we go over to the US where the forklift is produced. We look at the managed material coverage app, and we see here that we have the customer order placed from Germany, and we then also see the planned order, and we see it's a make to order scenario. So we can convert this planned order into a production order by clicking here. This can also be automized through jobs, but here for demo purpose, I've done it manually. Also here in the review order process body level new app, we can also check the issues and see what's going on with our order. We can see that we're a little bit behind in our production and we have to reschedule. So this is one of the scenarios. It's pretty easy. So we're just going to go to the related actions and go back to the managed material coverage app. And then we take a look at our stock requirements list here of our order. We see that our production order is late, so we need to reschedule. Let's see what's possible. If we reschedule, for example, to the 21st, then the system and the MRP is checking it, and you can see what was possible. It was a reconfirming of the 22nd, so the system automatically did that. So let's assume the production is over. Let's take a look at the production order here quickly. We look at the status. I did everything, step by step in the production process. But for time reasons, the status is now delivered. So the goods have been received. Now we come to the shipping process here in our delivery. We want to ship now our forklift to our customer from the US to Germany. We can see here in the outbound delivery that the Gabelstapler, so our forklift, the picking status is completed. And now the goods issue is still missing. So here the truck arrives. We want to then load the forklift, and the goods issue is posted with one click. And then we go back to our monitor value chains. We see we have one little problem. It's not a real problem. It's just a job that is automatically scheduled. But if we look at the process flow, the documents, we see that the sales order, outbound delivery is also completed now. The purchase order and the sales order were also completed. We see the billing document is still missing. And also then we see that the material documents which were cancelled, this was due that the freight forwarder sent 2 times the wrong truck for our forklift. And then the third time we see the material document was then booked correctly for the goods issue. And we also see here the post goods issue. There's a message, and this is also the nice thing of the monitor value chain monitor. Then we can also see the details of, for example, here's the job behind, and everything is fine. Let's go back to our sales order and into the track sales order details app, and we see that the intercompany sales order was also sent. And what is missing now is that we actually need an invoice for our customer because the goods are on its way. So here we see the delivery status, it's not invoiced, and with one click by creating here on this button, create invoice, we can then actually create the invoice for our customer in Germany. Here you can also see that the invoice has been created. When we take a look at the process flow, we can also see here that everything has been completed, and with that, the billing process is also done in our intercompany scenario. So I'm wrapping up this scenario because of time. When we go back to the monitor value chains, which we can then usually nicely use to wrap up the scenario, and we look at the documents, we see that the sales order is completed, the outbound delivery was completed, the purchase order and sales order for the intercompany business was also completed. We can see the billing document for our intercompany customer invoice has also been completed. Also the customer invoice, as you just saw, is also completed. We already talked about these 2 material documents. Also this one, the goods issue, was also done. And the post goods issue from issuing SIT is also completed. And here the supplier invoice, which is also automatically created in the background. We can see there's a little variance, which the system tells us about between the purchase order and also then the intercompany supplier invoice, but this can be fixed in accounting or in finance. We see here the other material documents, and they're all completed. So with that, we just take one more look at the process flow here, which has been quite heavily involved in our intercompany business. Let's make it a little bit bigger so we can see it. And as I said, here you can graphically see nicely all the documents in our demo. And with that, I come to an end and finish my demo with that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Markus, for showing off your amazing storytelling skills and for demoing it live in the system for us. Almost makes up for the lack of Swiss chocolate today.
I'll bring one soon.
Looking forward to that. Now, Matthias, why don't you summarize the key capabilities of advanced intercompany sales for us?
Yeah, thank you and hello, and also a warm welcome from my side. Now, as we have seen, the typical business scenario is that your customer orders from your company while the goods are shipped from your affiliate. Now, the advanced intercompany sales is an integrated process with capabilities ensuring that the value chain remains intact for this scenario from an end-to-end perspective, particularly for goods movements, but also for the finance value flows, and that provides integrity and transparency. Now, let's look into particular areas which are included into that. So one of the key capabilities is that you have integrated product compliance checks, so you can handle dangerous goods and also trade compliance. So for example, if you have to adhere to sanctions for certain countries and for certain goods. And both of these are integrated into the customer-facing sales order. Then there's an integration into transportation management, including the freight costs and providing full transparency into that. And also the purchase order in the selling company enables landed costs in product costing. Finally, we also have full transparency on changes in customer-facing sales orders because they are consistently applied by the system throughout the end-to-end document flow. One of the key capabilities of the advanced intercompany processes is to make use of valuated stock in transit goods movements. So it therefore supports an automated transfer of control between affiliates and to the customer. And also there's a full financial value chain integrity and transparency. So let me provide two particular examples. On the one side, there's an automatic support for event-based revenue recognition in line with IFRS 15 accounting standards and the matching principle. And secondly, there's a real-time consolidation between the affiliated companies with the margin eliminated at the group level. So that's a very particular advantage for CFOs of groups. And finally, the value chain monitoring framework automatically creates the corresponding follow-on documents, plus offers E2E monitoring for issues detection and posting services, as we have seen in the demo of Markus very nicely. So now, how can you get access to this scenario? So it is delivered as part of scope item 5D2 in S/4HANA Cloud Public Edition. Note that this advanced intercompany sales is a prerequisite for group valuation, which is a different scope item, which is 5W2, and also for the end-to-end value chain analysis. For companies who are particularly looking to use configurable products and make-to-order scenarios, there is a second scope item, 7DM, for advanced intercompany sales for make-to-order and variant configuration.
Thank you, Matthias. Now let's discuss the business benefits of running advanced intercompany sales. And I'm looking at you here, Jakob. What are the main advantages and benefits, and which C-level roles benefit most from the solution?
Yeah, very good question. And I would like to start with the second question because I think that's the easier one, right? So the two key roles I think benefiting the most are definitely the Chief Financial Officer, so the CFO, and the CIO. And yeah, if we look then into what benefits can they basically get from the advanced intercompany processes, would like to highlight four of them, right? First of all, the consistency, right? Consistency from a data point of view, but also from a process point of view. With the value chain monitoring that you have seen, we really ensure for those roles that there is full integrity and transparency along the whole end-to-end value chain, and actually across logistical objects like orders and goods movements, but also across the financial objects, and all very tightly integrated. So really ensure the maximum of consistency here from different angles. Second point is compliance, right? And Matthias was already mentioning a few aspects of that, right? This, first of all, I think the processes are highly automated, so there can't be so much manual error. And they are aligned with international reporting and accounting standards, for example, which of course leads to a certain compliance out of the box, but also on a process level, right? Matthias was, for example, mentioning the integration with our product compliance module. I think there are really multiple dimensions how those processes by default enable a certain degree of compliance here already. The third one I would like to highlight is definitely the topic of costs. I think that is always important to all of those roles in the C-suite. And by first of all, providing a high automation within those intercompany processes, we of course reduce costs and lower total cost of ownership. And I think the second point, and that goes more to the, I would say, the CIO role, is the reduced costs for IT, right? Because we offer those processes out of the box, fully standardized. So CIOs no longer need to basically get headaches because they invest a lot in customized and custom-built solutions here because we offer that as part of the standard. And the fourth benefit I see is definitely the scalability. So those processes basically out of the box allow businesses to scale their business models into new kind of business models and also quite easily scale from a geographic point of view. So to sum it up, consistency, compliance, cost reduction, and scalability are, in my opinion, really the benefits that the C-suite will get from the advanced intercompany processes.
Thank you so much. Matthias, you are responsible for the product strategy and roadmap. How will advanced intercompany sales evolve in the future? Can you tell us something about that?
Yes, sure, Maria. From a product perspective, we see that more and more customers are using advanced intercompany sales, so it's becoming more and more relevant in their business. And let me start with what we have recently added as new capabilities. So with the SAP S/4HANA Public Cloud Edition 2502 release in February, we added the capability for our customers to leverage an advanced intercompany process with basic make-to-order and variant configuration capabilities, which has been shipped in the form of a new scope item 7DM. Now in release 2508, what you can expect is a round-off for the capability to issue intercompany invoices for delivery items with a quantity of 0, which is relevant for the scope item 5D2. Plus, we also aim to add additional localizations for additional countries on a global scale. In release 2602, we are looking at companies selling products. So that is materials that consists of several components, and you can use so-called bills of materials. So a bill of material is a predefined list of all of the components that make up a product. So if I can bring an example of a bicycle, you can see that you have the frame, you have the wheels, you have the saddle, and so on and so forth. So in 2602, we are planning to add advanced intercompany supporting sales kits in scope item 5D2. And that is based on the scope item sales order processing for sales kits, which is 31Q. And this will enable the advanced intercompany process for all 4 variants of sales kits which we have. Let's now look at our midterm roadmap, which we aim to expand on both capabilities. So for advanced intercompany sales with scope item 5D2, we plan to enable an order-related invoicing, so for example for milestone billing scenarios. In addition, we are looking to enable a scenario for third-party direct sales because we receive a lot of customer requests in this direction. So that is for scenarios when delivering entities of a company procure the products from third parties and have these directly shipped to the customers. Finally, for advanced intercompany sales with make-to-order and variant configuration, we plan to add the capability to have configuration changes as well. So stay tuned for upcoming innovations.
That sounds interesting. So we know what we have to look forward to. Can you give some guidance for customers and partners who want to get started with this process?
Oh yes, absolutely. So first of all, you may want to check out various videos and curated demos to familiarize yourself with the scenario. Then I would absolutely recommend to use the Signavio Process Explorer to get started. So for each of the scope items, what you will get there is a detailed process flow, a test script, and setup instructions so that you can get that started. Now 5D2 is an advanced scope item which requires some extra setup. So it's important to know that this is not part of the default activation of a system. If you want to use the additional capability of configurable products with advanced variant configuration, then you may want to look into scope item 7DM, which is based on 5D2 as a prerequisite. You will find all the details in the online help documentation and various community blogs, which are listed out here.
Okay, so there's a lot of assets for our customers and partners to get familiar with. Jakob, how does this look from a commercial point of view?
Yeah, very good question. And I think we have really, really good news here on that end, because we have made the commercialization simpler, especially if we look at the process that has been introduced today, right? I mean, the intercompany process with advanced variant configuration, with configurable products that Matthias was also mentioning several times. In the past, it was actually necessary to buy additional materials to basically be able to use advanced variant configuration. But with the new pricing model that we have announced at Sapphire this year, advanced variant configuration has now become part of the supply chain management base package that we are offering. And by this, we highly simplifying, let's say, the access to this very nice functionality, and thus also to this end-to-end intercompany process with advanced variant configuration. So very good news here on this end, and one great example how this new packages really simplify our commercialization.
That's what we all like to hear. Today, we've learned how advanced intercompany processes in SAP S/4HANA Cloud Public Edition bring transparency and efficiency to the forefront of intercompany operations. Thank you, Jakob. Thank you, Matthias. And thank you, Markus, for taking the time to shed some light on this solution. To our audience, thank you for tuning in. We hope you've enjoyed this talk as much as we did. If you'd like to learn more about SAP S/4HANA Cloud Public Edition, visit our community to engage with the experts 24/7 or get in touch with us at insiders4@sap.com. What do you think about the solution? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like and share this video with your peers. See you next time.